everybody, I'm going to a wreck now up on Highway 35 and Cooper Spur Road. I'm not exactly sure what we're getting into. We just got the call from ODOT, 50 feet off the road, but I'm not too sure exactly if it's down a hill or if it's just straight off the road. So we're bringing a wrecker and a flatbed just to be on the safer side. So I'll let you know when we get there. See ya. Alright, yeah guys, I haven't been making too many videos lately because there just hasn't been that many big recoveries. Now as we get closer to winter, we're about to see a lot more of the wrecks and the big recoveries. So stay tuned and make sure to like and subscribe on the video and hit that bell icon because that will let you know when I get a new video out. And yeah, that way you'll be the first one to watch it. Alright, see you then. That one out of the ditch there. It was on its side. We got it back up onto the road. It definitely wasn't as bad as they said it was. They were saying at first 50 feet off the road. That was like 10 feet maybe. 2 lines, we flipped it on over onto its wheels, and luckily before the owners left the car, they left the key in the vehicle, so that way we could put it into neutral and get it back onto the truck. The front wheel on the passenger side of the truck was completely destroyed, so it wasn't tracking straight anymore. We were able to just pivot the bed around straight. That way the truck would get straight up into the middle of the bed. We get it back to the yard. But yeah, definitely a fun recovery. Definitely wasn't as bad as what they were talking about at first. We're back to that recovery season, where that means there's gonna be a lot more of those to come. So stick around and stay tuned. See ya. Hello everybody, we're back with another one. I'm going up now to get a Sprinter van that slid off the road. Looks like it's just went into some soft gravel, some soft muddy area, and it's been raining quite a bit. We're gonna get up there. I should be able to just put a front line and a back line and winch them up on the hill, or back up into the main road there. Because it's on soft gravel, it should kind of just slide up, and then we'll just have to kind of fix the road once we get it out of here. So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad, but I'll show you here in a second. See. Guys, yeah, that recovery worked out really well. It was definitely heavier than I was expecting. From the pictures, it's hard to tell just how steep the slant is. It was still pretty steep, but with the two wheels on the gravel road there, I was pretty confident I could get it out with just one truck. Luckily, another guy I towed before, he was in his bigger truck coming down the hill, and he said that he'd have no problem using his truck as an anchor. It chopped out a bunch. When you're pulling one side of the truck at a time, sometimes the other end of the truck can slide down into the hill. It worked out really well. We tied the back of the Sprinter van to the front of that F-250, so when I pulled the front, it didn't go down the hill any further. In the video, I don't know if I'll play audio or not, but the winches were starting to whine a little bit, lifting that front end up, and I was getting worried that it wasn't going to do it. Luckily, the front end of the vehicle started coming up the hill just enough where I knew for sure it was going to come out of that hole. Once the lower end of the Sprinter, I put two winches on the front of that Sprinter. I put them on the lower A-arm and the upper A-arm. That way I could have a pull from the lower side and the higher side once I got it up the hill. So that really helped out because that lower side was really deep in the hole. So with the boom height up and the winches pulling upwards, it loosens up that tension a little bit. And once it started coming, I didn't want to stop pulling the vehicle because I would lose my momentum. So I just kept pulling it up. You see there in the video, it didn't quite get flush with the ground, but that's just because the back end was in that hole, so it was lifting up the front wheel. But I knew as soon as I pulled the back end up onto the road, that front wheel would level out onto the ground. So I wasn't worried about that. Once I got the front secure on the road, I moved to the back of the car where I unlatched the F-250 from the Sprinter van, and I just put my winch lines onto the wheel because it was already strapped in there. And because the back, it doesn't weigh as much as the front, and the other rear tire, I don't know if you can tell in the video, it wasn't actually that low into the ground because the engine was the lowest side of the vehicle. So I figured I'm going to try to pull it from just that wheel, and if it would have gave me a lot of resistance, I wouldn't have kept pulling. I would have put another low line and did a low line pull and the upper pull. But luckily it started coming right away. So I knew it wasn't a lot of resistance on that back wheel. Luckily it slid right up into the road. Owner of the vehicle, he was really kind and helped out with cleaning up the scene, so I didn't have to do too much of that because it did bring up quite a bit of mud with it when it went over that hill. It worked out really good, and if you like what you see today, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell if you want to see some more content soon. Thank you very much. See you.